This is... What a week.
What a week. PoliTricks.
This episode of WAW What a Week is brought to you by Your Natural, a revolution in African hair care, a true game changer. Take a look for yourselves.
Make sure that we get it into each strand of hair and we pull it through the hair. Just applied step one. We're going to start step two. It goes on immediately after step one.
So guys, today's episode is brought to you by Your Naturals. This is like revolutionary stuff. We have our model here. My man, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling better.
But is your hair generally difficult to comb?
Yeah, it is difficult.
Your Naturals is going to change your life.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I believe.
And give that hair some treatment too.
It's nice, smooth. Since I apply this, it's not difficult to cut. No water. I prefer this one. I like it. I'm happy because it's much proper.
Yeah, my dude, let's comb your hair and let's see how you feel.
It's much smoother now.
Yeah? It's like knife through butter, ne?
Yeah. It's not difficult. It will save me time when I'm rushing.
Ne? That was so dope. My man, use that product as often as you want.
Yes.
When you run out, I want to send you more.
Thank you.
I will sponsor you for the rest of your life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your Naturals. Your. For a 10% discount coupon, go to Your Natural, YOH, natural.co.za and use the code WOW. Welcome to #PoliTricks. Players in the field of PoliTricks often have a revelation or three. They can leave one both astounded and intrigued. This week, it seems like our political commentator took a page out of that playbook and has a surprise of his own. So let's see what or who it is. Please give a warm welcome back to Botsang Modimowame Moiloa. Botsang.
Good morning, Bro Fresh, and morning to our followers and viewers. Yeah, indeed, I decided to take a different leave, but as I always say, we listen to those who follow us.
Sir.
There's been laments and calls to say we must bring political office bearers, political players on the platform, and one of the writers said we should grill them. And our guest today decided, no, I will come, but don't grill me.
Do you think she'll cope?
Let's hear if she's going to cope. This is the first of its own. By the way, we must say, since the launch of WAW What a Week and
yes.
#PoliTricks, we never had a guest on the platform. And I don't know if she'll cope, but these are breaking news for the week. She's breaking everything.
Do you think she'll break the party?
Let's hear from here, and let her talk to herself.
Please welcome recently fired,
Yes.
recently self-hired. What do I call you, Sis Colleen? What do I call you?
Colleen. I'm the president of SARA now.
Okay.
Whether I'll cope or not, I don't know. But
Colleen 101. Who are you?
Yes.
Where are you from? Just
Yes.
a brief background.
Well, good morning to you, DJ Fresh. Good
morning, Colleen.
Botsang, and
Thank
really
you,
thank
Colleen.
you for having me here. Yeah, Colleen has been very disruptive. And it seems
Colleen
Ustot, wherever I go, I'm disruptive and I get fired. This is the second time I'm getting fired anyway.
Is that the fashion? Everybody who's on this platform
all
today,
three of us are
you
unemployed.
got fired.
All unemployed.
So now we know how it feels like. So you can imagine how it was like for me on Monday. But Colleen is a girl from Guyana.
Yes.
And born and bred in Guyana. I'm Tsonga or Shangaan, those that prefer that. And studied there, got a scholarship to study in Malaysia. I've got a computer science degree, believe it or not, honors from Malaysia.
Wow.
And I came back, worked for Telkom until 2003 and went on to do my MBA. I'm busy with a PhD in Management of Innovation and Technology and have been in business since 2006 on my own. And how I end up in politics, it's an intriguing discussion. but I started off being appointed to the South African Post Office Board as the chairperson of the board. That's what sparked the interest in politics for me.
Yes.
And understanding the caliber of people that we have left into politics. If you have to go and report to parliamentarians in a portfolio committee, you are trying to turn around a big entity like South African Post Office. These are people that, and I mean no disrespect, have no qualification or education that qualifies them to be holding those portfolios and being overseers of such a complex and very important process for the nation. And they don't understand what you're talking about. You can't read the financials. There's, you know, you're talking to yourself. All they want to understand is, where do I enter? How do I eat? And if that is not catered for, you are then fired.
Comrades must eat, Colleen, and you'll get into trouble like me by saying people who are supposed to be lawmakers. We had that discussion actually in the last episode. Are actually making laws that they don't understand. And naturally, whether by profession or skills or background, they are not equipped to can be lawmakers. But I've said to Fresh and our followers last week, the problem is it is us, voters and ordinary citizens, who put those people into those political positions. But as yourself you have said, a village girl went to study abroad. Computer scientists decided to enter into a political frame. Wow, what a move.
Because exactly what you said, who is there in politics that has the credibility and the qualifications? And sometimes we expect so much from people that can't give you what you want. We're hitting on rocks saying, deliver services, give us roads, give us water, give us power. Those people literally just do not know what they're doing. Therefore, officials are running them amok. From post office, are going to get appointed to be the chairperson of Metropolitan Trading Company in the city of Joburg, 2021 early, before I went in to run to be a mayor. Same thing. And for me, the city situation was more appalling. As you said, you can sing the loudest in the community, give people food bags. The next thing they vote you in, you become a councillor. They do not understand that being a councillor means you have a potential to be a mayor. You have a potential to chair an infrastructure, energy committee, and give direction, etc. So people get that they're lost. We have a brain drain in government. And if people like ourselves, who the nation has invested in terms of education and experience, etc., do not want to go back and assist, it's a problem. But the thing is, when we go back and assist, they think we're too smart also. We don't fit in, because there the language is Amandla, and I don't do Amandla, I wait to dance. I want to see things happen, so it's a problem.
Where did the transition happen from you being what I regard as public administrators, you understand, to be a political office bearers, and to end up in the not so coping cope, where we are sitting now, and I don't want you to dwell into the COPE politics, because we have moved on and we'll get into that. But that transitional moment, I know when COPE was founded, for example, as a breakaway or angry people, you know, in 2007 from the ANC to form COPE. And the young ones, like I vividly recall Anelem Da was there with the youth. I vividly recall the current Dr. Onkgopotse JJ Tabane. Where did you fit in there?
I did not. I actually was ANC up until I got fired from the South African Post Office. And then
so you were also fired there? I must stop associating with Fresh.
I know. You know, you need people that get fired. That means they are doing something. They are trying to, you know, rattle the feathers. But let me tell you how I get into COPE. When I get appointed at the MTC to be the chairperson, the Metro Trading Company, I didn't know that that portfolio was under COPE. And I thought in my head, to be honest, it was under ANC, until when I get there, I meet the MMC. And he says to me, look, I didn't even want to ask your political affiliation, because I saw your CV, I saw your credibility, and we want to implement a smart city. And because you bring that with you. And I said, this is the person. So please work with me. I'm from Congress of the People. I don't know what your political affiliation is. That triggered me, because that's not how ANC works. Because you have to be a card-carrying member. They must know who you're connected to. And he started to sell COPE to me to say, look, we want to revolutionize ourselves as a modern party that looks at skills, competency, and draw people from anywhere that can assist us to come and govern. you know, unlike using this cadre deployment. And very sharp man as well. Okay, since left Cope, fired like me, but anyway, another story.
Okay, so your mentor and your former political boss was also fired?
Was also fired.
Wow.
So he's the one who then introduced me to Ntateli Kota, President Lekota, and the chairperson of the province, and I started to engage with them. We had a very good relationship, and you know, they liked me. And when the opportunity came to say, look, we're going into local elections, it came as a rush as well. We would like you to come and join COPE, run as a mayor. You know, we feel if you have the mayoral seat, you can actually assist to turn around the city of Joburg.
The two positions, mayoral versus the speaker.
No, you remember, you don't campaign to be a speaker.
Yes.
You campaign to be a mayor.
Okay.
And then all other positions follow if you don't get to be a mayor.
Okay.
You know, it's either you're a ward councillor or a mayor, you know. So, yeah, it took like a week or two for me to think about it, but the idea was just growing in me because what I loved was to work with people. And I've been doing my business, my foundation, and I had been appointed, was selected in a global women's mentorship program with Hillary Clinton in 2017 in the States. And they did a whole lot of tests. We're with Fortune 500 CEOs trying to figure out what's next.
That's good.
And out of that came out that I'm more inclined to work with people. I wanted an environment where I can interact, impact, and make change. But I thought maybe I need a foundation. Yes, I never thought it would be politics. But when I got into politics, my goodness, I found myself. I would have never chosen this as a career of choice.
Sure.
Campaigned to be a mayor. Of course, nobody won. I didn't make it. And lo and behold, we have a seat. Coalitions are the order of the day.
Yeah.
With the multi-party government, I get appointed to be the chair of chairs, which is the deputy speaker.
Okay.
It was a coalition arrangement. Then for that year, it gave me insight into how government works. I was serving under the then Councillor Dagama, who was the speaker that we ousted, and I went in as a speaker. That's how I get into politics. And I found myself, and I love the space, and I think there is so much value to add. And my wish is to recruit like-minded people to join politics.
Very, very, very few political office bearers or politicians, they fall in love with politics and they want to stay. Majority of them, when you talk to them, they will say, I want to quit, I want to leave. And you come from a professional background.
Yeah.
And the people's background, and you are falling in love with politics, what we call a dirty game. Will you cope?
You know why they don't fall in love with it? Because they do it as there's nothing else for me to do. You know, they don't have any other option. I don't have education. I don't have any other opportunities. What's the easiest thing for me? Let me join a branch. I can be a councillor. So it's not something that they desire to do. They would rather be doing something else, but this is the only option. For me, the sky is the limit. I can go and do anything I want. JSE, company, corporate, etc., business. But I'm so drawn to this because I'm a social activist at heart, you know, and I love to go out to the communities and do something to change people's lives.
Talking of being a social activist, and I can relate to that, I listened to one of your interviews during the week in one of the radio stations, and I think it was on Wednesday. And you said, and that moved me. That actually made me make that call after having that conversation.
Yeah.
You said the biggest problem with politicians at the moment is that we are swamped into fighting each other and ousting each other instead of serving the communities. Exactly. And I think this is another platform opportunity for you to elaborate into that, because I did see your ability to work with people from that statement. A politician who doesn't care about position, who doesn't care about what they want to achieve as a political party, but what the people must have. And let me tell you, that's what made me to make that call. Can you talk to us more about that?
Thank you. Look, there's something about connecting with people that you just don't understand, that all of us, whatever skills, qualifications, intellect, whatever giftings that we have, you know, God has given us, if you are not using it to affect somebody's life positively, I don't think you sleep well at night. And for me, that is the platform that COPE has given me. Even the speaker position, I'm the first speaker basically in the city of Joburg. In fact, I'm the first speaker to be known to be active on the ground. If you think about it, you don't know who the previous speakers are.
Well,
you know, you hardly...
I hardly heard about them. I will know because of the space that I'm playing on. But we hardly heard about them.
Yeah, but a normal, ordinary person would not normally interact with the Speaker of Council because you chair council, you're there, and you know...
But Colleen, that's how it's supposed to be. And I always say to political office bearers, the very same people who have put you there, whether through coalition or what, is the people you are supposed to interact and engage with in order to understand the challenges of the communities that you are supposed to be saving. And look, I'm not here to sing your praises, but you have done exactly that. That's how we got to know what I term the thorny rose of Gauteng politics. And now you are moving into South African politics. Are you going to contest nationally?
Certainly. With Sarah, I'm the president of Sarah. I'm aiming for the high office, the #1 office of South Africa.
But before we get into Sarah, and before the dramatics and Cope saying, okay, we don't need you anymore, was there writing on the wall before that period for you?
You know, DJ Fresh, no, it wasn't. If you understand my relationship with President Lekota, and if you had watched us, you would be as equally shocked as I am. With President Lekota, we've been talking about formation of some alliance with everybody, driving this process together. We've been...
So he's been aware of...
Not even aware. From August, him and I and the chairperson, who's also from COPE and other leaders, we've been actively calling... There's no precedent that President Lekota has not called in this nation to recruit them to say, please, come and join this alliance. We want to form a UDF kind of a thing, the model that they had, because he was a public secretary then. And that was the catalyst to the release Mandela. So they wanted a catalyst to how do we break 2024 to be a nation changer, a game changer.
So why are they treating you like you're a renegade?
And what happened?
So the thing is, he wanted to be the face of Sarah. I think that's the long and short of it. We agreed, the president said, and they agreed on the structure. He was the president emeritus. I'm the executive president, and we've got other positions. And if you think about it, if they wanted to fire because we joined another party, Lekota should have been fired as well. Because we are there, the structure is documented, approved. And that's not even a political party, but we'll come back to that. But he was fine. Even last week, we were meeting with, Wednesday, Tuesday, we met with 2 political parties and some church organizations presenting the same thing. I think when it hit home, when he sees the posters now, it's really this woman's face. And that brings me to the point of, I really don't think South Africa is ready for a female leader, especially these men that come from the liberation mentality. Those African leaders that refuse to leave the stage, they don't see themselves. They don't see themselves submitting to a woman.
I come from the liberation movement and all, but I'm actually tired of seeing men faces misleading. Actually, that's what I call them, because we've been misled as a country. And I'm one of others. I said to Tato, there's a song by Joan Amatredi, you know, if women could rule the world, it would be a better place. And I've said, maybe it's about time we give a woman an opportunity to see how they will do in the country.
Maybe because you're not in a political party that must be led by a woman.
Well,
so maybe if you were Lekota who must give Colleen an opportunity, would feel different. Because it's easy sometimes for men to say, yeah, women can lead, until they have to sit under this woman who must then give them leadership.
So are you saying there was 0 chance of salvaging the situation?
I was not given an opportunity. The thing is, we did not even know it's going to fire. If I tell you, Sunday, I was talking to President. I did not know this was coming. Monday, when it happened, we're meeting with the presidents of the different alliances and political parties. We're sitting in a meeting at Sentinel where we normally meet. Call President, he's supposed to be joining us. He says, I'm not feeling well, but I've got an agent meeting in Kempton Park. And you guys proceed. And because now we've got the posters, we've triggered interest.
It's time to go. It's time to
move. Now we're planning. This is the voter registration weekend. What is the plan? Who's going to be where, etc. We are there for that meeting and the launch and the communication. In the middle of the meeting, I get calls like this. I'm thinking something happened in the city of Joburg because all these reporters are calling. So I'm thinking if I get into it, I'll never get out. I'll do it when we break for lunch. Break for lunch. 2 o'clock, all of us are shocked. Presidents, in fact, I thought it was a joke. First, I thought it's a joke. Until I see the press briefing and I look at the man who's sitting there, that broke my heart. That was the dagger that I cannot explain.
But because in the allegations or the news are, you will notice, as Fresh will say, was told that the flyer that was supposed to be released only after that engagement on Sunday or Monday, it was already on your social media. I didn't see it, but that's what the chairperson of COPE said, to say they don't even have to call you in for a disciplinary hearing because the flyer was already on social media with your face.
It's not even about a flyer. You do a flyer after a decision has been made. This is the face that's going to be on a flyer. Flyers are designed a week, 2 weeks before they're even on Facebook and social media.
And you say they knew about that? President
knew about it 3-4 weeks, because the president's decided this is the face of the party. You are going to be the president emeritus. But since that moment, look, intuition, I could sense that he was not the happiest man about the idea, but he was going along with it, right? And when he saw the flyers, he saw the posters, I think then it hit home and he decided to terminate, which was really disingenuous, because a flyer, and it was a strategy, by the way, that the way we launched, because we wanted to do it unconventionally.
Yes.
You get people asking questions and talking, you know. And we've been trying very hard for the past, since August, when we have these meetings, every month we'd want to invite media, and you can even go back, media statements, invites have been sent. We wanted media to come and listen to us.
But that's in the past now.
Yeah.
Sarah is here.
Yeah.
Why should any South African be interested in Sarah? What is Sarah offering that all the other parties or all the other coalitions are not offering?
Look, Sarah has structured itself differently.
Yeah.
And it's based on the lessons that we've learned in the coalitions of the local government.
Sure.
We are going into Sarah now as one party, as a pact, which you will not find in Moonshot. So every alliance of Sarah, whether it's NFP, ICM, which is Independent Citizens Movement, ARM, and many others, are not going to contest on their own as individual parties.
So they will not be on the ballot paper?
They will not be on the ballot paper.
Okay.
Only Sarah. So all these people are going to vote for Sarah. Fred, let me tell you, there's 490 parties registered at IEC. It's going to be a mess. And all of these parties with a threshold of 1%, believe me, they are not coming back. COPE 2019, it was sitting at 0.2%, you know, and the highest of the minorities was ACDP, 0.84. All the 9 minorities that are in parliament right now, less than even 0.5. You tell me, what have they done in your mind that suggests that all of these parties have done something radical to reposition themselves, to change the perception of the electorate so that they move beyond the 1% threshold? I don't think they're coming back if they don't do anything. But if these parties had combined their votes, voted as one, they would have been the 4th largest party in South Africa. They would have been able to make a difference.
So what the Africanists have been talking about, to say having a united front, and not in a mere sense of coalitions, because coalition in government, they happen after the elections. The losers actually connive positions and all that.
I'm a kingmaker, whether I qualify or not, therefore I must be a mayor. You've seen the disaster.
And you guys went green. You know, when I looked at that, in the eyes of an ordinary citizen, we have Action SA. They're green like you. You know, the colors are almost the same.
We are all green.
Didn't you worry? Well, I think Action SA and yourselves are more green than any other party. Didn't you worry that, you know, like your image consultant, to say this may be too close to another political party?
No, not certainly. The Greens are different. But you know what we wanted to do? If you look at our logo as well, it's not a typical political party logo. We shied away from the yellow, the green, the Africa, and all of those, you know, overly used. We're irritated with them. One change is that our logo represents professionalism. We're moving away from the old politics of the struggle of you know, and we appreciate the liberation kind of politics. We're in a different politics. We need to talk how we turn around the economy. How do we create jobs? How we bring competent people? And so even our logo talks to that, and that new birth and the sun that is there, you know, it talks of a new beginning.
And this new beginning, which has now disrupted the city of Joburg.
Totally.
We are sitting without a speaker at the moment, and we are sitting with a former speaker on this platform. And what's your view about that? What's going to happen? You know the challenges that the city has faced. There's actually been questions and court processes regarding the city mayor, Mr. Commander, and now him being challenged. Now Colleen has abandoned, or Cope has removed Colleen from that hot seat as a speaker of Joburg. What is going to happen now? The destabilization of the city of Joburg, the biggest metro in Africa.
Yeah. And look, that's the unfortunate part, because I don't think the COPE leadership thought broadly when they made the decision that they did. You know, if they had given me an opportunity to make a presentation, I would have said, yes, you can fire, but allow me to engage with my partners, prepare them, and they sort themselves out to see what's coming. You don't do that when you understand you are in an ecosystem, because it doesn't only affect Joburg, it affects other coalitions around the country.
Where you have agreements with other political parties.
As well, you know, and it has thrown Joburg in a mess, because the agent report that needed to go to council was supposed to sit 30 November, yes, for the court cases and other budget issues, so that gets disrupted. Now it's a battle for who's going to be the speaker. And as you would know, the national politics, if you're following, ANC, EFF are fighting. ANC National doesn't want EFF coalitions. ANC doesn't want PA because of the Israeli-Palestine issue.
Yeah.
So I have just opened this can of worms, which we thought, let's contain it, we can deal with it 2024.
You actually have brought yourself to actually where I wanted to.
Okay.
Joburg is in a mess. You jump out of this mess, you're pushed out.
Yeah.
And you now dwell into national politics, which are more of a mess. You just made an example of the ANC National Working Committee. This week, actually, it's one of the breaking news of this week. They've taken a decision to say EFF cannot be their coalition partner come 2024. And people are asking, who's going to be the coalition partner? Is it going to be the DA, or is it going to be RESA at the moment? But again, you leave a mess, you go to a bigger mess. And that's why I still use the word, you know, the thorny rose of South African politics. You leave thorns wherever you live. Tell us more about how coalitions will work, or in your view, what's going to happen in the national, you know, discourse?
Look, it's going to be very interesting, because right now the four big parties, which is DA, ANC, EFF, and maybe Action SA, not so much, is still coming up. IFP, I would put it up there. They think they are the only ones who are going to be players. That's why they're playing around themselves. They are fighting for that cake as if everybody else doesn't exist.
Yes.
So what they're going to get a shock of is that the minorities are going to come united, they're going to come strong.
Okay.
And we are going to be on that table, disrupting this grand coalition of DA, ANC, etc. They don't understand what is happening with Sarah. And this is the beauty of what we are doing. But this issue of you leave a mess here, you leave a mess there, you know, I think it's very important. Our democracy has given provision, and it allows us to exit bad leaders when we go for elections. But we don't have a system to bring in good leaders. Okay. We don't have that.
If the bad ones ever exceeded.
So Sarah is here to say, look, yes, we may have left a mess now in Joburg, but it was for a good cause. We need to create a platform where before we go into 2024, we're sifting leaders according to competence, qualification, character, moral clarity, etc. Sarah is going to present to the nation. If we are in government tomorrow, this is your president, Colleen, this is the Minister of Energy, and vet them, look at them, understand them. Unlike what you do now, you vote for what you don't know, and you are given Mantashe, you are given Balula. What are you going to do with it? Nothing. You have to swallow it.
My argument on that last week, when I was arguing that the three arms of the state are not independent, they're actually interdependent in my view. I said to DJ Fresh, you know, the sad part is people know who they vote for before they vote. We knew that we were voting for Mantashe, for Balula, and for whoever, and I'll tell you how, and you will know better than me. We know because political parties, they issue the lists of their candidates before elections. They're in the IEC, they get publicized, they get vetted and security cleared. Well, there's loopholes, but we still go and we vote for those people. So where is the problem there?
Look, you know you've got 300 ANC candidates, but do you know who's going to be your Minister of Energy? Do you know who's going to be your Minister of Finance? Do you know who's going to be your Minister of Transport? No, you don't know. You only know there's going to be a president called Cyril Ramaphosa, whom he appoints is
the cabinet and
your
the
act is
executive.
messy. And that is not what the Constitution says. The people shall govern. You must be able to choose your leader, who you want in what position. And we want to go there. You don't even know where your premier is going to be in some cases, you know. So those are the things that we are saying it must change. The politics of this nation, we are disrupting that whole system right now.
I like the disrupting word, and we have seen it, and I like what you have said earlier on. We have seen it with smaller parties, or what the so-called small parties, the Patriotic Alliance, when they came into politics in local government. We saw what they did in the city of Cape Town when the DA wanted to vomit or to eject the former mayor, Patricia de Lille. If you recall what transpired there, the Patriotic Alliance came and saved Patricia. So that disruption of the common cause in politics, I personally think it's very important. But let us hope and pray that your political party, which is a coalition, will do this for the best interest of the people of South Africa. And I don't know what that's fresh from there.
Yeah, in fact, before we wrap, because we are running out of time, so how do people, because it's a voter registration weekend. A lot of young people will be voting for the first time. Some are not interested in politics. Where do people find out about Sarah? Where do they register if they're interested? How do they get involved with Sarah?
Follow us on our Twitter. We've got Sarah_politics. That's where we are. All our details are there. The contact details as well. Even the Facebook page is Sarah Politics. You go in there, you're going to find all the information that you need on how to contact us. And we are encouraging young people to vote. This is a party for dynamic young people. Those that are upwardly mobile, but they're hindered. No opportunities, nothing. Those that are saying, I'm sitting at home with a degree, how do I get involved? Where can I come and be part of what's happening in the nation? We want those young people, because believe me, we're going to be kicking out all of those people in those offices and departments, because we're bringing fresh blood now. DJ Fresh, we want fresh blood.
Will there be cadre deployment?
Not cadre. If you're in Sarah and you're competent and they call it cadre, okay, but we want competency.
So those that are up to the task.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I think it's very important. We have actually heard one of the political parties, you know, recently, the leader, Stian Hazen of the DA, is saying more than half of the public service will be fired if the DA takes over. But I think the approach to say competent, qualified people to occupy those positions, it doesn't matter which political party they belong to. I've been a public servant for over 25 years. I never belonged to the ANC. You understand? I've got my own political home. That was never in power, but it's about serving the public service and the people of South Africa.
It has to be about that.
Anything in closing, Botsang?
Well, Colin, thank you very much and for actually gracing this platform. It's a maiden one. We are planning to have in future, we don't want to be talking to politicians, so it'll probably be once a month or every other week. But thanks for doing that. Good luck, Trisina.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for coming to clarify on how you are formed into not a coalition, but a united front that is going to contest the election alone. And I hope when our viewers are going to comment, some of your team members or even yourself, they normally write on our social media. You can respond directly to that and subscribe to WAW a week. Thank you very much, and it has been a pleasure having a conversation with you. We hope this is not the last time. And let's hope that after the elections, we'll be sitting here with Premier or President Colleen Moiloa on this platform.
Let me tell you, the next BRICS summit that's happening, there's going to be a female president from South Africa, and that would be me. DJ Fresh, I thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you,
Thank you. We really appreciate your presence.
Yes, thank you.
And we are done with that edition of WOW What a Week, #PoliTricks. Hopefully you enjoyed that episode with possibly your future president, Colleen Moiloa. Please comment, like, subscribe. We are coming to you from AMP Studios in Johannesburg, part of the Africa Podcast Network. Shout out to Pezulu Works for the cinematography, our audio engineer, Otis the Floor Fraser, and our guest, Botsang Moiloa, and our special guest, Colleen Moiloa. Shout out again to our creative producer, Kuvesh Mohan, and our show producer, Keletso Modisakeng. Email waw@africapodcastnetwork.com. This episode of WOW What a Week brought to you by Your Natural, a revolution in African hair care, a true game changer. Take a look for yourself.
Make sure that we get it into each strand of hair and we pull it through the hair. Just applied step 1. We're going to start step 2. It goes on immediately after step 1.
So guys, today's episode is brought to you by Yo Naturals. This is like revolutionary stuff. We have our model here. My man, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling better.
But is your hair generally difficult to comb?
Yeah, it is difficult.
Yo Naturals is going to change your life.
Yeah,
Trust me.
I believe.
And give that hair some treatment too.
It's nice, smooth. Since I apply this, it's not difficult to cut. No water. I prefer this one. I like it. I'm happy because it's much proper.
Yeah, my dude, let's comb your hair and let's see how you feel.
It's much smoother now.
Yeah? It's like knife through butter, ne?
Yeah. It's not difficult. It will save me time when I'm rushing.
Ne? That was so dope. My man, use that product as often as you want.
Yes.
When you run out, I want to send you more.
Thank you.
I will sponsor you for the rest of your life.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yo Naturals. Yo. For a 10% discount coupon, go to Yo Natural, YOH, natural.co.za and use the code WAW. We're out of here. Have a great week in spite of yourselves.